We work in a field called celestial mechanics. In particular, we work on the n-body problem. The n-body problem basically is studying the motion of all n-bodies over time. So Shay and I have looked at particular solutions in the n-body problem called central configurations or relative equilibria.
What I think is nice about research is a lot of times I'll be working with Professor Roberts on things and he'll sort of get me going just a little bit, and then a lot of times you have to go and figure out the rest on your own.
We've been comparing suspended sediment concentrations in local rivers here in Worcester, which are tributaries of the Blackstone River, to the suspended sediment concentrations in rivers in more forested areas in central Massachusetts. And so we've been looking at how urbanization affects how much sediment is moving downstream, particularly in response to storms.
Fieldwork is a major component of my research. I come out a lot and take samples of the streams, especially during storm events, and that's not really something that you get in a typical lab. And so I go out on my own and collect samples, and then I'm able to process and analyze the data, and it's forced me to do a lot of independent work. I'm going to continue researching for the rest of this semester. This has been a 2-semester project for me, and I'm hoping to put together a manuscript and try to get that published. I've presented at 1 conference already, and I'm hoping to do 2 more conferences later this spring. After I graduate, I'd like to go on and do a master's in horticulture. And I'd like to possibly go on for a PhD in the future or work in the consulting field.
The goal in this lab is to develop new diagnostic imaging agents. Most people don't realize that every day in the United States there are 50,000 diagnostic imaging experiments going on in hospitals using the element technetium. And there's a need for new and better imaging agents that are better at targeting specific tumors. And so our goal is to create some of those new and better imaging agents here in the lab that could be tested by other people for possible use.
Our plan is always to publish as much as possible. We have some pretty good ideas here in the lab, which we're constantly working on articles to publish. Coming up this spring, we'll be attending the American Chemical Society conference at San Francisco. So our whole goal as a group is to publish and put our information and data out there. This coming fall, I'll be attending dental school. The science department here at Holy Cross, whether it's biology, physics, or chemistry, has definitely shaped me very well to be very well prepared for that next step. The testing that was required of me to get into school and the application process, I felt very well prepared for that. The science background that I have coming through the pre-med or pre-healthcare program has helped tremendously.
We research in the field of atomic physics, which is the study of the properties and behavior of atoms. And what we've been doing since Pat started is using lasers to excite atoms. So the electron, which orbits the nucleus of an atom, if it absorbs photons from the lasers we have here, then you can excite it to a highly excited state where it orbits around at a very large distance.
I love the physics program because all the professors are great, and I like the small amount of majors. One of the reasons I came was because it was a small liberal arts school. I'm not a fan of 300 student classrooms, and our group of physics majors is very tight because there are only a few of us, so I'm having a really good time